Yo, dudes and dudettes, what's up? Welcome to Ben's Blades. Today we're going to do a rebuild of the Spyderco Sage 5. Let's check it out. Right then, let's get this thing started. I need almost entirely a T8. In fact, I think it is just a T8. I think it's T8 all the way around. Which is convenient if you're going to take a knife apart a lot. It's nice to just have one bit that you have to worry about. Okay, let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. It should be pretty easy by the looks of it. It looks like a pretty easy knife to work on. So we're going to go from these Sage lightweight, polymer, Grivery-ish kind of scales. And we're going to go to Day-Glo G10 from Ripp's Garage Tech. That's kind of the theme of this build is Ripp's Garage Tech. We got the G10 scales, and we also got a full titanium parts kit for it, so it's going to be pretty awesome stuff. I'm actually going to deploy the blade because I have a feeling it's going to be easier to take it apart and put it back together with the knife deployed. Yeah, looks like just T8s all the way around. Awesome stuff. Ooh, these are tight, though. You know what? For the rest of them, I think I'm going to use the Mac Tools Mini Ratchet. Just because, not that I need an excuse to use that, but it's nice to know I've got one. Ooh. Ugh. Okay. That was the Mac Tools Mini Ratchet, for those who are curious about that. Looks like that's caught in the pocket clip. Okay. Used a fair amount of Loctite on these screws. Interesting. Okay, now we should be able to just take these right off, you would think, just by looking at it. Oh, no, the pocket clip screw, the other side of the pocket clip. Gotta take that off. Jesus, that's a tough one. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Oh, for a second I thought that was going to spin freely, but it looks like not today. Okay. Ooh, yeah, this thing should be a breeze to take it apart and clean it and put it back together. Why not? I mean, you would think so. Let me try to pop this off without parts going flying. Unless there's something I'm missing. They might just be compression fit, and you might just have to really put a little bit of effort into it. I hope I didn't speak too soon. Let me try to close the blade, and then no, that's not gonna do it either. Well, it's trying to come apart. It's just these compression fit standoffs. Well, let me get the blade out of there so it's at least not going to have any issues of its own. Okay. Now, what to do? Take the washer out. Oh, there we go. It's coming. It's just these compression fit standoffs. I'm not trying to break the knife or do something stupid with it. Yeah, let's not jerk on this. Ugh. You know what? I might take this off camera and try to very carefully disassemble it and see. Yeah. The problem is these compression fit washers, or not the washers, these, ooh, there we go. Wow, that was tight. That was tighter than I thought it would be. Okay, ooh. Anyway, okay, well, let's do the Slip 2000 725. The rest of this should be easy. I mean, you would think. Should be easy enough to take all these parts out, clean them up, and then get things back in order. There's that. Dry that off a little bit. That's all cleaned up. And then, same for this. This part is interesting. It's got this, I don't even know what this is, but it just sits in the knife like that. It must be, is that the... No, it's not the detent. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay. Now, thinking that goes back on like that. Yeah. I'm just trying to brainstorm for how this is supposed to go back together. I didn't exactly do a lot of homework before I started this. So, okay. I think let's grab the ALG Go Juice. Looks exactly like that. And that's this stuff right here. We're just gonna put that stuff on there. Put the washers back on. Yeah, I know I'm using too much. Yada, yada, yada. Shut up. Oh, it fell right through. Okay. Oh, this might be messy. And then this little bushing that goes on. That's interesting that we have this little bushing that goes on over the I'm just going to lubricate this up. That goes on over the pivot is this extra bushing. And the blade actually sits over this like this pivot bushing. Very, very interesting. I'm using way too much oil, but I really don't care because it's all just... Anything that the knife doesn't need is just going to come off anyway, and it'll just have to be a cleanup process later. Oop. Oh, I see what that little thing is for. It's basically the blade stop pin. It rides along in this little grooved area. That's what this is. Come on, focus. That's what this is. It rides along in this little grooved path that's, you know, functions basically like the blade stop pin. It's a fairly simple knife by the looks of it. Okay, and then I'm gonna actually let's take the knife blade and wipe it off. This thing is not gonna be the easiest thing in the world to put back together by the looks of it, just because it's everything wants to just like kind of fall out is what the impression that I'm getting, because every time I've tried to pick this thing up, this pivot barrel and this pivot bushing wants to fall out. So I kind of have to hold my nose and do this a certain kind of way. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, what is necessarily the best way to do this? Well, I'm thinking this should go on with the standoffs. Put the standoffs in. Is there a certain kind of way to do this? Yes, there is. Where they're only going to fit in there one way. And even the right way, it looks like they're... because it has a flat side, so it only goes in there one way. But even that way, it's kind of a tight fit. There's some tight tolerances on this thing, I'm noticing. And then this other blade stop, I think it goes like that, and it just hits the back of the blade. This thing is... I thought this was going to be easy, but see what happens when I open my mouth? Because now I feel like this is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. Alright, well, let's set this down very carefully. And let's take out these Ripp's Garage Tech Dayglow G10 scales. Can I break this? Is this a breakable thing? Can I break it like I do everything else that's grivery on this channel? Oh yeah, that one's easy. Easy to break the motherfucking grivery. Easy to cut my fingers open too. Remember this from the Benchmade tagged out video? Okay. Now, I'm going to carefully inset this right here. Oh. And then this goes on just like so. Well, I guess, yeah, it does kind of just fit right on there. Okay. Now, the parts for this knife. Ripp's Garage Tech. See that? Isn't that lovely? Okay. Now, where are the problematic spots for this gonna be? Well, let's get a pivot screw in there. We'll start with that. Titanium screw set from Ripp's Garage Tech. Tighten that down. That way the knife is at least in there. Am I missing anything? It's so damn easy. I feel like I'm missing something. But I guess not. Okay. Well, there's some shavings on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Is this a titanium one or a... Okay. Yeah, that's a titanium one. That's weird that it's got like shavings on the screw bit. Whatever, it's probably fine. As long as I don't force it. Okay. Now it's just a matter of putting the rest of the screws in. Pretty quick and easy process. Unless I'm missing something. I could be missing something. Something I'm not thinking of, and then I'm going to have to embarrassingly take this knife apart all over again on camera. But this is shaping up to be pretty quick and pretty easy. It's not centered. So that's something. And it's because this pin back here is not properly seated. There we go. So these screws need to be tightened down a bit more so that that can't come unseated again. And we are slightly favoring the right side of the knife, but by the time we get it totally back together, we might have a different situation on our hands. Well, already it looks like a whole different knife. It's got that glowy kind of golf ball sort of neon green to it. It's kind of cool looking, I think. All right, Lynch Northwest pocket clip. Because I am a Lynch Northwest whore and I need pocket clips on my knives like I need a hole in my head. And it looks like that's going to be interesting to get that properly seated. Let's try it though. Let's try it. Okay. Are we free spinning? No, we're not even touching. Interesting. It's almost like the screw can't get down there enough to make contact with the screw hole. The pocket clip is a little bit misshaped, and so I might need to really bear down and put some pressure on that just to get it seated. Yeah, that's exactly what I needed to do. And now it feels like it's seated just about where it, needs to be. Let me tighten it down just a hair more. Okay, that's probably fine. And are we dead center? Not quite. So maybe I'm going to try just once to kind of finagle this thing to get it centered. And if I can't, well, then I'll just mess around with it off camera. Because I can get it centered. I just don't know that I want to waste everybody's time here on camera. It's drop shutty as hell. It was like that when I pulled it out of the box, though, so it just kind of showed up that way. These are the Taiwan-made Spydercos, one of them anyway. Oh. We might have a little bit of a problem. It looks like it's not seated quite right. Like there's a pin or something that's not quite... Or does it just need to be tightened down a lot more? No, it would appear as though that blade stop pin isn't fully seated like it needs to be. So let me go ahead and loosen everything up, and we'll see if we can get in there and fix it. I thought this was going to be like a quick 10-minute video without a lot of trouble about much of anything, but now it's looking like possibly not. Is it? Yeah, it's this pin right here. There we go. Wasn't fully seated properly. All right, let's try this again. So while functionally there's not a lot going on with this knife, it's fairly simple from a parts standpoint. The tolerances are actually tight enough that some of the pieces don't necessarily fit together like they should without a fair amount of pressure to get the fitment where it needs to be. Okay. I'm going to loosen some screws, these two pivot screws. I'm going to loosen them just slightly so that we have a drop shutty blade. At least we're going to try to have that. Okay. Now, let's get the blades, not the blade stop pin, the pocket clip in, and then we'll check it out. It's not going to get centered on camera. I'm going to have to adjust it off camera just to get it perfectly where I need it, but that's okay. We will revisit this knife some other time, and it'll be perfectly centered by the time you see it again. But sometimes you just got to play around with it for like a half hour off camera to get it dead center. Is it centered? Yeah, it's not dragging, but it's not dead center. But I think I can get it that way. I think I need to take it apart and put it back together, and just make sure that I've got the fitment right. Man, it's drop shutty. The detent is working fine. I need to take it apart again anyway to lubricate the detent because I forgot to do that. But in any case, here you have it. Spyderco Sage 5 with Day Glow G10 going on. It's a pretty awesome transformation. This is a totally different looking knife. So I love it. Taiwanese made Spyderco, which are some of the best. CPM Spy 27. That's Spyderco's proprietary steel for their blades. I think, from what I understand, it's supposed to be kind of like S35 VN, but easier to sharpen, is what it's supposed to be. So there you have it. Okay, I just ended the video about 20 minutes ago, and I did take the knife apart again, just so that I could lubricate the detent and the detent path. And when I put it back together, it's not quite as drop shutty, but it is now dead center. So I think what the issue was this pin right here was just not quite fully seated in the liners where it needed to be. This knife really does have to be bolted down like tight in order for everything to work properly. It's a testament to the tolerances that go into these knives over in the Taiwan factory, because they are not messing around. I would argue that the Spyderco knives from Taiwan are even probably slightly better than the ones from the US. Like, I would carry this before I would carry a Para 3. So that's just me. There we go. Let's see if we can get this thing drop shutty now that it's been taken apart again a couple times. There we go. Now we are drop shut. So we have no blade play. We are drop shut for the most part. And the blade is dead center. Completely dead center. So there it is. Spyderco Sage 5. CPM Spy 27. So it's a phenomenal knife, and I'm going to be carrying this for quite a while because I love it. It's a really fidget-friendly knife. I love it. The ergonomics are nice. You can choke up on the knife with this finger choil right here. It needs a sharpening choil. I might send it to the Way of Knife to have a sharpening choil added, but it's definitely a knife that you're not going to lose in the snowbank. That's for damn sure. Well, that was a nice build. That was fun. There you have it. Spyderco Sage 5. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, until next time, this is Ben from Ben's Blades telling you, carry a knife everywhere you legally can. I'll catch you later.